So my name's Mark Birmingham. I had to, when I registered, I had to identify myself as a non-developer, but I brought my developer with me so we can show you some cool stuff. We're actually going to show you, we hope, a live hack of a banking app, but I'll save the good details for later. So can you give me a click here? So we are fundamentally, we offer an application SDK. It's a security overlay for the applications that you've written already. It functions primarily as an application and port authority to ensure that the bad guys aren't doing things like this. Here, click again. So some of the apps that are actually doing bad things today are things like flashlight apps, things like Bible readers, QR readers, things that lots and lots of us have downloaded on our phones. I've got kids, so what I'm going to show you next are some slides where I know I've got some problems at home already. But click again. What they're after are credentials. They're after social security numbers. They're after banking credentials. They're after money, fundamentally. Click again. Last week, I actually downloaded, I did a search in the Google Play Store for an emoji keyboard. So this one I found, it was one of the top 5 that came up, has 1.5 million downloads. If you scroll down a little bit and you look at the permissions of what these things are able to do, click again. So it can actually read the contacts on your phone. It can actually know where you are, right? This is your emoji keyboard. Click again. It gets worse. Oh, maybe again. It has access to all of your media, and not only can it read it, it can manipulate it. Same thing with your storage. Go again. Again, it gets worse. Yeah, I think the transitions are bad. Oh. It has access to your camera, and that's actually what Chris is going to show you, right? He's going to show you another application snooping on your banking application and doing bad things. Has access to your microphone, your Wi-Fi connections. Click one more time. This is the worst part, I think. Sorry, it's not working. Transitions aren't working so good. Some of these things are terrifying, right? It can download files from your smartphone, from your tablet without notification. It can prevent the device from going to sleep. Again, this is your emoji keyboard. Okay, so it's pretty scary out there. Click again. So the SDK that Chris is going to walk you through actually is overlayable on Android, iOS, Windows. You can do it anywhere, deploy it anywhere. It's very seamlessly operates very much in the background. There's zero impact on app performance, and the best part is there's no cloud backend. You own it soup to nuts. We deliver a license for the SDK. You overlay only the components that you want to overlay onto your application, and away you go. So I'm not going to spend any time on this because there's too much information here. It's a very robust set of capabilities. What I really want to get to is to have Chris show you a live demonstration of how scary it is out there. We would love to have you spend some time with us. We have a booth out here. Come on over and see us if you're interested in a conversation. So Chris, I'm going to flip it over to you.
Okay, so as Mark pointed out, we provide mobile app protection. Let me give you a quick demonstration of what it is we're protecting you from. So I'm going to go to here. Okay, we've got the camera up.
Yeah, I hope.
Okay, I hope. And let's have a look at, okay, so I'm going to start an innocuous flashlight app. And I'm going to start the Bank of America app. And I do want to point out that we're not picking on Bank of America specifically here. We're not hacking the bank or hacking the bank app. What we're doing is demonstrating an operating system level vulnerability or set of vulnerabilities that allow data to be captured from an app. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log into...
We could pick on Bank of America.
Well, we could,
if you guys want us to.
You know, but we're going to be nice. And of course, we have permission to use this account. Very important to get that. Okay, I've logged in. Okay, I'm in or Joanne's mobile banking app, and now I'm going to do something quickly. I'm going to deposit a check.
Can you see this?
Okay, so got a check here, and let me go ahead and, okay, we like that. Okay, and the back of the check. Signature, all important. Okay. And we seem to be happy there. Okay, and okay, so I've just deposited a check, signed in, deposited a check, and so what happened? What did our innocuous little flashlight app do? Well, it probably grabbed a few things. Oh, username, password, check images. This is a website, by the way. This is our hacking website to demonstrate how easy it is for a malicious app to grab credentials, put them out on the web. So that's the credentials, and that are the check images that I just took. Okay, so now I'm going to show you Secure Bank. And this is the sample app that we ship with the SDK. It exercises the features of the SDK. It resembles a banking app, but it's not exploitable by the malware that we just demonstrated. So what I've got here is the source code for the Android version of Secure Bank. And this is the splash activity, the entry point to the app. So, going to here. And so what you just saw was a malicious app grabbing information from a bank app. That wouldn't have been possible if a malicious app weren't running in the first place. So the first line of defense we're going to provide is app protection, which is started with this method call that I've highlighted here. At this point, once this method is run, we're suspending apps and services that are running in the background. Now, of course, life is never simple. A smart malware author will register for system callbacks to relaunch the app or the service in the event of suspension. So we have to provide additional areas of protection. Right here. So as we just showed you, it's trivial for a malicious app to grab images such as checks, credit cards, and other banking documents, as long as the camera is looking at them. So we provide a camera protection module, which is initiated by this method call that I've highlighted here. Once this is initiated, we lock the camera against any application that attempts to grab the camera. We keep it locked until your app needs it, and then we safely hand it over. If you're using a third-party SDK to recognize check images or credit card images, we can safely hand the camera over to that SDK, and when the operation is completed, we lock the camera again. Now, if we can't lock the camera for any reason, we'll let you know if an app is using it, so you can let the user know, hey, close this app, we got some banking to do. Okay, next up. So when the app starts up, it's a good idea to know what sort of environment it's running in. What are the potential hazards and red flags? Well, call this method getDeviceState and find out. In the callback here, is the device rooted? Is a debugger running? Is a third-party keyboard installed? We'll let you know so you can establish that you're running in a safe environment. Okay. Here. So another problem area is data leakage. Bluetooth has been an area of concern for years, and connecting to a public Wi-Fi can leave you open to a man-in-the-middle attack. So we provide a way to block data ports and keep them off, even if other apps attempt to reopen them. For example, maybe you want to turn Wi-Fi off, force the mobile device to send packets over a more secure 3G, 4G connection. We give you that option. Okay, so having established a secure environment, we want to maintain that environment for the duration of the session. Now, we already checked the device state at startup, looking to see if the phone is rooted or the user is running a debugger, but we also want to make sure that nothing actually changes during the banking session. So if you register for device state callbacks, you'll be informed if, for example, a debugger starts up, the app attempts to open a port, other types of things happening. Probably nobody's going to root their phone in the middle of a banking transaction, but if it happens, we'll let you know. Okay. So everyone's got an emoji keyboard these days. Most of them require access to the internet. Why? I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't trust one with my banking credentials. Still, people do it. So that's why we provide an embedded secure keyboard with the SDK. Register any input field using this method, and our keyboard will pop up in place of whatever keyboard the user is running when they hit that field. So let's say you have a user who usually accesses their banking account on an Android device in New York. One day, they're logging in from an iPhone in LA. Okay, maybe it's them and they're traveling, but it's worth it to check if they are who their credentials say they are. The SDK includes an identity manager that provides 12 unique markers, including location, operating system values, and hardware identifiers. If one or more markers don't match established values, you can ask the user for additional verification. Now, once you've established a secure environment, logged in, and verified the user's identity, you may want to store or cache some information locally. Though a device's file system will afford some protection, you're still storing data in plain text. That's why we provide a secure storage module with the SDK. It creates an encrypted file box into which you can place any data in any format. The module uses AES 256-bit cryptography and has 2 levels of protection. One allows data to be decrypted even if the file is downloaded from the device. Another, more secure mode, makes the data only decryptable on the original device for maximum protection. So we've completed a banking session, and now it's time to log out. What happened while the session was active? What did the SDK actually do for you? Did any apps attempt to relaunch themselves or try to move to the foreground? Did anyone try to hold open ports that we were holding closed? When protection is deactivated, we provide a session report. You can submit the data back to your back end for analysis, or even let the user know that they might have a misbehaving app. So the AppShield SDK provides you with a number of different protection tools. You can use all of them or just one, whatever suits your application. Thank you.